once again, back is the incredible.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the U Crew Presents The Lost Crates. I am your host, Hakeem Rashad Muhammad, and broadcasting from parts unknown somewhere in the town is my younger brother. Where you at, bro?
Hey, what's happening, man? I'm chilling out in the north side. It's your guy, J Mac. Welcome to another episode, man. I'm really excited about this one. You know, got a youngster that kind of came up under us, man, back in the days. Our guy, DJ Vursatyl. What's up with it, man?
What's up, family, man? Good to be here with you brothers, man. One love.
Man, look how good looking that brother is, man. Yeah, you a good looking man.
Like I'm trying to keep.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to keep up with you two brothers. Trust me.
We knew you was gonna say that. First of all, first things first. Where are you? Because I see a lot of wax behind you, bro.
I'm here in my little man cave, my studio. We call it this is like the first. I still have all the original. I wish I could show y'all, but it's a mess. But I still got all of our original. This is what we call it, the Promised Land. So it's my little studio, yeah, with the vinyl, everything. This is where we used. All of this is our central nervous system, man, for how we kind of got recording and whatnot.
Man, that's what
you said. The central nervous system. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Got music running through your veins. How long have you been involved with music? I know you do a lot of various stuff. So to our viewers out there that may not know, just give us a little history about your background, music to DJing, because you do some, you produce and you do a lot of different things. So update our viewers on what you got cracking, man.
Well, man, I don't know when y'all want to get into this, but ultimately I came up in the church.
What got you started and you get started? You know what I mean? Like, what got you involved in and wanting to do music and whatnot? Because you got a big collection back there, like Hakeem was saying, and you've been doing a lot of things throughout the years. But what was it that specifically inspired you to get your thing going?
Well, I came up in the church. I'm a pastor's kid, and so my father was a musician. Self-taught. Right, self-taught, played the piano, and he can really sing. He's still here with us, so he can sing. And around 6 years old is when my mom found out that I could kind of sing, and immediately Sunday, they push you to the front and get you going, man. So right around 6 was like my debut singing. But being a pastor's kid, that became every Sunday. So man, I was busy for about 10 years, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Sunday
I was gonna
really
ask you too. I was gonna ask you, because I was actually impressed by the fact that one of the first gospel hip hop type groups I ever heard in my life was here in Portland. And I didn't know that was a genre at first. So you guys were my introduction to that. So you being a preacher's kid, kind of, okay, that makes sense. If you're gonna go into hip hop, that's gonna be the vein. So kind of appease pops a little bit. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I mean, so here we go, man. Let me jump into it.
Go ahead, jump.
What really happened was, like many of us, rappers delight happened.
Yeah.
Right. And
right.
And so literally that day, I tried to write my first rap, which was basically Rapper's Delight with my name in it, but that wasn't gonna. I didn't really know at the time, to be honest with you. I thought I learned different later, but I thought that wasn't gonna fly. So that's where the gospel rapping thing came. Like, I want to do this, but I didn't think my parents was gonna rock with it. So, I had to try to do something that was presentable so I could do it at church. That was my stage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's really how that started.
That makes sense. My other question, before I let Jay jump in here in a minute, is for you to be a rapper and gospel, how do you find other dudes to be down with you in that? You know what I'm saying? Because I know, I don't know. I was a rapper And I knew some Christians, but I didn't know any Christian rappers. You know what I'm saying? So how did you find right? So how'd you find the homies to form the group? So how'd that even happen?
Man, you know, I feel like we were all kind of dealing with a similar thing. So, you know, there was other cats at my church. Well, you know, we all young. You know, you hear Rappers Delight. It caught immediately. Like, I think it just blew us all away. You know what I mean? Like, it became a thing. Like, that's all you wanted to do was just sit around and listen to Rappers Delight. You learned all the lyrics and we be saying them. So that really wasn't hard because, you know, everybody was at church. Some people was made to come to church. Like, you got to go to church. So you there. And, you know, kids, we ain't listening to what's going on. So, yeah, it wasn't that hard to find other cats. So we started a gospel rap group at church immediately. Yeah. Man. Actually, my brother had the rap group at church. And I'm the little kid, you know, wanting to be in the rap group. And this happened all within the course of like a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? But they stopped. I picked up. And man, it kind of gradually evolved over years. Man,
that's cool that you say that. Not to blow my own horn, but Jay and I have this song called "Back in the Day," and one of the things I say is Wonder might change my life. You know, because he was the first dude I said hip hop, and then we named the whole genre after it. And I was like Wonder Mike, because that was the first voice. You know, since he went first. And it was just cool seeing somebody else with the same experience. As soon as I heard Wonder Mike, whoa, man. So how did you take that into being where you are now? So take us through the steps, the progression.
Okay, so again, I started trying to write my first rap that day, right?
Yes.
And then I'm obsessed with it, man. Like so here's the thing. I feel like our path, because I grew up watching y'all and I want to get into that. Like, I feel like, and I don't want to speak for y'all, but I feel like when I was young, I was seeing people that actually had a knack for rapping. Like, it was something that it wasn't just like, I'm going to rap. It was like, they tried it, was like, hey, I'm kind of good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, or somebody validated it. So the first time I saw the Untouchables or the Untouchable crew, I was like, whoa, like, they're not just rapping, they're dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying like, it looks and sounds like what I've heard on the radio or what I heard on the record. Like, it's comparable to what I'm digging. And that became my goal, is to try to sound better. You know what I mean? Like, I can hear my raps, but I was always listening to go. And that's really how singing kind of jumped off for me too. I would sit in front of the record player and I would try to sound like the person singing. That's how my mom discovered I could sing. So with hip hop, it really became the same thing. I was just trying to sound as good as, and I always had that bar to go like, yeah, you rapping, but it ain't that good. You know what I mean? So I've been accused of being a critic, but I ain't a critic of just other people. I'm my worst critic too. Like, I'm like, nah, that ain't really that dope. So seeing y'all really kind of helped me see like, whoa, like they're doing it, but they're sounding professional. They sound good. You had a dope live show. And I didn't have no real barometer for a live show, but seeing the Untouchables here in Portland, that really became the bar. Like, this is it. This is what we need to try to accomplish. You know what I mean? So y'all really set the tone for what I wanted to do.
Right on, man. And to be honest, you know, we've always like tried to be the best, you know, like a lot of artists out there now, they're too easily satisfied with just being mediocre. You know what I mean? But Hakeem will tell you, you know, we spent hours in the studio, and me in particular, I was always like, man, let me do that one more time. Let me do it one more time. Because if you make a mistake during the recording of it, that's something you got to live with every time you hear that track. And it's happened before, you know what I mean? So it's like we used to be in there fine-tuning it. And then the mastering and mixing aspect, because you know, you got cats that want their stuff to bump, so they turn the bass way up and it distorts it, you know, then they send it out to these radio stations, and radio stations like, nah, man, I like the track, but it's not, like you mentioned earlier, Verse, it's not compatible with what's currently on the radio. It's not sounding the way it needs to sound. And a lot of cats don't know how to accomplish those particular sounds, but we were blessed to have like different producers, different management that were already established in the music industry that walked us through the ropes at a young age, so it's a blessing to be able to have inspired you to, accomplish a lot of the things you have, man. Real talk.
And
man, I remember coming to, I'm sorry to jump in here, Hakeem, but man, we got to get Joe Bean Keller he told me years ago, and I'm pretty sure with his meticulous nature, he still does. He had a videotape of this. Y'all came out in the black. That's when Miss C's would put the letters on the sweatshirts. Y'all had on the black sweatshirts with Untouchables on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I remember Doc Rock had the Most Def. Like, we in the audience, man. It was like, I tell people, like, y'all were our Run DMC. Y'all were our Boogie Boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were like, y'all were like the jump off. You know what I mean? So we came.
Hey, to those of them that don't know Mrs. C's was a wig supply store on 7th and Fremont. And then on the right side of the store, they had a t-shirt shop and all the neighborhood rappers, musicians, artists that wanted their caps, they wanted their logos. That's where we go. Shout out to Mr. C's wigs. You know what I mean?
So that's real talk. And going back to you, we felt the same way. It was kind of weird because we would win like all these rap contests, and there was maybe out of all the people in town that would consider themselves rappers, maybe 3 or 4 of them we took seriously. You know what I'm saying? And then looking back, the people coming up after us, the ratio changed. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and J Mac came, we were kind of here. Everybody else was a little, and I'm saying that to be nice. I'm not keeping it real. We were a little bit above. We practiced 2 hours a day, at least 5 days a week. So we were like a cut above everybody else. But the people coming after us, like you, saw that work ethic, and we were tripping off how group after group after group was just on it. And you got, just as much as we impressed you guys impressed us the same way, and when you were saying, when you saw us, that inspired you, I'm really, man, my heart was really filling up like, oh my goodness. Because, I may have said it, after my brother J Mac is Vursatyl in the town of my favorite lyricists. I was like, there's J Mac.
Hey, listen, bro. And not toot my horn, but me and Jumbo, Rev Shines, like Lifesavers, we've toured the globe, like literally, man, like around the world several times, and doing interviews with everybody, from The Source to Rolling Stones. I've always told them about Hakeem, J Mac, Cookie, Larry Bell, Kevin Morris. Like, I've always told them about y'all, man. Like, not that they didn't know. We were in, quick story, we was in Christensen, Norway, and this older cat, we were doing, he came to the hotel to do an interview with us, and he was an older dude, man, older white dude, man, but he was getting people to send him K-Boo tapes from the 80s.
Yeah.
And so he knew about all Portland hip hop. He knew about all of us, bro, like all of the originals. He knew about everybody. And y'all, I have to say this on camera. I've been waiting for years to say this. Man, if you don't know about the Untouchable crew, if you don't know about the Untouchables, man, you don't know nothing about Portland hip hop. These brothers is the truth. They are my idols. They the cats that laid the foundation. You dig? Like, I got a whole bunch of stories. I wish we had more time, and I can tell y'all a whole bunch of stuff. My journey.
We will get to them. We will definitely get to them.
Okay.
But I want it to be about you right now. So now we got you singing in church and starting a rap group. That's Isaiah. So how did Isaiah become Lifesavers? And then how did Lifesavers give birth to just Vursatyl, the solo artist? So take us there. So those steps, because I've watched you evolve, and bro, my goodness, it's been an evolution, man.
Right on, bro. So I was in a group. So first I was in a group called the Eminem Crew, right? And we were called like the Ministers of the Mic.
Okay. I like
so
that.
That was my first rap group, and one of the cats that I went to school with, I'm in like, 6th grade. One of the cats I went to school with, he was in church or whatever, and we met at school. He wound up getting in the group, but he could sing too. So him and I would kind of sing and be riffing and stuff like that. And so you just feeling around. I was in rap groups, I was in singing groups, and ultimately he brought two brothers. And again, when I heard their songs, it was so much better than the stuff I was doing and all the stuff I was a part of. I was like, man, y'all really sound good. And they had a group called Isaiah. They invited me to be down. I got in Isaiah, and all it was is, once again, we were just doing the music that we dug. And so being young, obviously that's going to be whatever it was. If it was New Edition, obviously Commission was our basis group. That's what we really love. But if it's New Edition, BBD, whatever it was that was popping at the time, that's where music was. That's what we were gonna sound like ultimately. We was gonna be making music of the day. But Jumbo, Solomon, quick story I'll tell you is, so again, I hadn't really heard hip hop beats in the way that I wanted to do them. And Solomon and David Calamafoni came by the house one day, because me and David actually had a rap group. Now here's crazy. It's not gonna make sense. I have to tell y'all in length, so I can't. I'm just trying to keep it short. But actually, David Calamafoni went to Grant.
Yes.
And somehow Johnny West came into this, so it was hip hop. So we were wanting to battle. So they wanted to make a song dissing the U Crew at the time. So it was like me, David Calamafoni, and somehow David wanted to go at Johnny. And Johnny was affiliated with the U Crew at the time. It was all this mixed up. And so, we actually came together on a song, me and David Calamafoni, on a song called Stop the Madness. And back in the day, Jumbo was real quiet. Solomon David, for people that know him, he was real quiet, kind of really, to himself, but he would always be rocking with David. Mm-hmm. So Jumbo gave me a tape of this beat that he made. And I was like, man, this sounds professional. So rest in peace to Big Red, David Calamafoni. He passed away. And I told Jumbo or Solomon, I was like, hey man, we still need to keep making music. But I was in this singing group and didn't know how to do it. So since Jumbo was a DJ, I was like, it'd be dope to have a singing group with a DJ. So we pulled him in. But because he didn't sing and technology wasn't where it is today, it was tough to intermingle him. So we started working on hip hop to the side. And so when Isaiah couldn't be there, me and Jumbo, Sly the Brown Hornet, Mixmaster KD, Dub Flex, aka Wolverine. We would fill in for Isaiah. Yep. We'd fill in for Isaiah. People would be like, oh man, thank you guys. We thought Isaiah was going to cancel, man. You guys are lifesavers. That's how lifesavers. No. And yeah. And so that was really the birth of Lifesaver.
That's hot though, dude. That's the best story ever. Man, you guys is Lifesavers. Thank you. Hey y'all, we the Lifesavers. Lifesavers is here. We need to save their party.
Hey, I remember you guys. One of the things I really liked about you guys is the fact that you guys would give the crowd a money's worth. I remember you. I remember Saul. Y'all dripping with sweat at the run, breaking the crowd all the way off. The crowd going bonkers. How important for you as an artist, not to just produce good music, but how important was putting y'all live shows together? Because like Hakeem mentioned, we used to put in a lot of work to just fine tune it. So when you get on stage, you can't tell that it was a whole bunch of practice and stuff like that. We try to make it look as easy as possible, but I saw y'all's work ethic. I know how much work it takes to put on a show like the ones that you guys did. How important was it for you guys to want to bring it to the live show? Some people, they satisfied with being studio musicians, you know what I mean? And man, we making beats in the studio. Then when you throw them on the stage, it's a whole nother ballgame if they're not prepared for it.
Yeah, man, the live show is paramount. It's what I miss the most, even now with this whole Corona thing, man, I miss the live show. We put, again, after seeing the U Crew, I watched y'all young, so the things you were doing resonated. I watched y'all in the Pat Sajak show, you know what I'm saying? I was paying attention, so Public Enemy, one of the greatest live shows of all time. Even groups people sleep on the live show of the Digital Underground show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the incredible live show, to the De La Souls, to the Big Daddy Kane's, to the so on and so forth.
Yes.
What I saw in the live show was that something else was happening besides just the song. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we just doing the song. You were finding ways to make it entertaining. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So when we first got our deal, we went on the road and we was getting our heads beat in every night by the groups that was headlining. And I started, again, I was like, man, see, we need to put together more of a show. So when we got back off tour, our first tour, we locked down. We was gonna open for the Roots in like 3 months. So for 3 months, man, we rehearsed one show for 3 months in Shine's basement. One show, 30-minute set for 3 months. And that became really like the foundation for the live show that we, you know, that we've had all these years. It was like the meat and potatoes of that, but just we figured out we needed to put in the work so that we wasn't getting beat down every night, man. Don't nobody want to go out on stage. First of all, you opening.
Yeah.
You opening and you don't want the crowd yawning and you just, it's all the ego, right? I'm like, nah, man, we gonna bring it. We supposed to be the dudes in Portland, but we on the road getting our hat handed to us every night. Nah, we got to put in the work because I want to be able to represent the town, but at the same time, you start learning that the audience wants something more than you just, yeah, 1, 2, yo, go to the next track. Hey, you know, and start that over. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't gonna fly.
Right. Especially when they're paying big money, because, you know, back in the days, concerts, you know, $5 to $20. But, you know, nowadays, well, prior to the pandemic and everything, you know, average concert tickets is anywhere from 60 to 150, 300, depending on the artist. So when people paying that type of money, they definitely are going to demand, you know, to be entertained. So I definitely compliment you guys on that aspect of y'all's game, because, you know, the times that I saw y'all performing, it was always 100. It was always energy, and it was like always a passionate performance. You know what I mean? So big ups on that. Now, with those records behind you, all those lost crates, man, what's some of your favorites there behind you, man? What's something that you might slap on periodically just to reminisce or just to have one of them old school flashbacks?
Hey, I'm not gonna front. I put those joints up there because those are that's me in a vinyl cover. You dig?
Basically,
like,
that's Mount Rushmore.
You understand? Like,
yes, sir.
Hey, it never gets old, J-Mac, like, for real. I'm talking about, like, I'm still that little kid that I gotta put some music on while I'm getting dressed. You know, I'm in my head, man. I'm in a rap video, you know what I mean, every day. I'm like, shoot. So that's all my theme music, you know. Rakim, man. Rakim does it for me.
Rakim,
yes.
That's my guy too.
That's the be all end all.
Well, speaking of Rakim, lyrically, Vursatyl is, I know I said it like 5 times on this show, Vursatyl is my favorite lyricist. And for people who aren't familiar with you, I would love for you to play something, to let us play something for people to get your vibe. So what do you have, you know, since Jay said you got crates behind you, what do you have in your personal stash of Vursatyl stuff that you want to bless us with tonight?
Man, we need to play my joint Super off of this mixtape EP called Cricket Straits, featuring Dion, formerly of Aftermath Records, man. So yeah, Super, that's the joint.
Okay. Well, hey, without any further ado, Hakeem, what you want to do? You want to go on and get into it one time, man? Can we go and slap that on?
Drop Super right now.
I'm not the usual super. I'm not a hero, but I'm super. I'm not the usual super. Watch me
It was a close call made from long distance. It's been suggested I was predestined from the heavens to a head spin to make a song listen. From K-Boo After Dark, Sugar Hill Spark, found my Neo side when I realized the art was a tic-tac-toe game. Got on my Cobain, I was raised a bullseye amongst long shots with no aim. Face me or face slow pain, but face it, you in the monsoon with a sifter, trying to hold rain. Have at it, catch your breath, asthmatic. It's the Wild West and few up and ass savages. Doc Holly in a Wyatt Earp blend. Smithsonian's trying to find my first pen. Stare at me long enough and you'll see why the earth spin. 35 mil depiction, one word description, super.
I'm not the usual super. I'm not a hero, but a super. I'm not the usual super. Watch me do my thing. Super.
Ain't nothing typical about verse unless you looking through my window from the outskirts. Here's some jewels and some bank teller rules. Don't cash checks without knowing the amount first. Look, pages past the cover of the book. Even the intro might have your info shook. To be clear, things ain't what they appear. The Messiah was on the cross between two crooks. My attributes radiate and bounce off the planets. A cloud serve tossed words across Atlantic. My peers been called bleeding out the ears. I stay in my lane, I just know how to switch gears. A dying breed, no twin Siamese. The champ, the truth, the great one, I am he. You should be glad that you made it this far. You trying to reach your potential, but I keep raising the bar. You know the drill, dude.
I'm not the usual super. I'm not a hero, but a super. I'm not the usual super. Watch me do my thing. Super.
Pocket full of dreams, mouth full of miracles. This fraction is closed caption. Subtitles underline the action. I'm Sam Jackson meets Johann Sebastian. That's Satchel Paige residue. Could I be great though I make less revenue? I want the hood to acknowledge bums I abolish. The jewels I drop, not the guns that I polish. That code that the so-called hustlers keep ain't for me. I ain't the coon that be shuffling feet to get cash. Though I get paid for my craft. For me, I'm leaving being a slave in the past. Champion sound. Blue ribbons, boys selling birds turn into stool pigeons. Visit a few prisons and heard my connect say, baby, you won't need an x-ray to see my new vision. I'm super.
I'm not the usual super. I'm not a hero, but a super. I'm not the usual super. Watch me do my thing. Super.
So, Verse, bro, I want to thank you for taking the time out because I know you're busy and catching you in town is actually a big deal. Like you said earlier, you've been worldwide. We did Jumbo last week, and man, just hearing, like I'm learning myself too from listening to you guys, just how much of an impact the Portland music scene has on the people behind them. I work with a young kid. I don't know if you know him. His name is Daniel. He goes by Wave, and you are one of his idols. He just talked. So I was like, he was amazed that I knew you. So I'm telling you, you're doing the same thing to the people behind you. So check out my man Wave. He's dope. So I also want to ask before we let you go, what are you up to now? What's Verse doing now? And do you got anything coming out?
Yeah, I just dropped a new song called I Don't Want You Anymore with my new artist, a young cat named London Bernard. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do is
that a relationship type of situation, or is it relating to something else that you don't want?
You know what, man? It really was my breakup song to hip hop, but it could go, you know, it has multiple meanings. It definitely kind of frames itself in a breakup between me and a woman. You know what I mean? That's the backdrop of it. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the way we swung it. Was like it's a breakup song, but really it was like it's me singing. You know, the whole song is
Oh.
me singing. So I was kind of, you know, you reach them points like, man, am I done with me? Am I done with rhyming for a while, man? Maybe I'm gonna show my singing hand. So it was one of those moments, but it came together cool. So that's out right now.
Okay.
That's doing cool. And more of that music leading up to a full length, finally, my debut solo album. That's what I'm working up to. But right now, I'm just trying to release some singles to get people, you know, with me a little bit. You know what I mean? Knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah. So if people want to hear more of your music, man, how can they do so? What's your handles out there?
If you go to Vursatyl.com, that's VURSATYL.com, you can get to me on Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media platforms, YouTube and whatnot. So go to Vursatyl.com. Don't ask Hakeem how to spell it because
No, that's why I'm over here cracking up. It took me like 10 minutes to email this brother. VUVA. Oh my God. So, man, I love you. I mean, when I say I love you, I mean that from the heart. My brother, J Mac, and I say that to each other. P Cookie, we say that to each other, and we really mean it. Bro, I love you. And thank you for being a part of this thing we're doing. We're trying to bring light to all the artists, you know, in town. So we're giving you a platform because we love you. So that's been our episode, man. Thank you. I know I'm still thanking you. This has been another episode of The Lost Trace. I am Hakeem. Say something cool, J Mac.
Something cool, J Mac. Big ups to everybody that tuned in, and make sure y'all check us out. Follow us. You know what I mean? Big up to Vursatyl, and much success to you, man, on all those things that you're working on, and peace and blessings to the other artists out there and the DJs around the world.
Look out for the U Crew every Friday on X-Ray FM. Love you, Vursatyl. We are out.
Once again, back is the incredible.